welcome to another interesting episode of Football Unfiltered. Today we'll be looking at the week 9 features of the EPL games, and we have my co-analyst here in the studio, Blaze and Emmanuel. You guys are welcome to the
Thank you once again for having me.
You're
It's a
welcome.
pleasure.
You're welcome, Blaze. You're welcome to the
Thank you so much, Bube. It's good to see you again.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So if you're joining us for the first time and you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly click on the subscribe button below, and also don't forget to click on the notification button so that you get notified of our subsequent videos that will be coming to you through this channel. So Emmanuel, how are you?
I'm happy.
I know
It's been a while
You know you're happy, Ke?
it's been a while I wore my jacket. So I deliberately, I know I thought I was coming to the studio earlier. I had to go change job. From the office, I had to tell the bike man to please take me back to the house. I went to the house, changed my jersey. I want to let the whole world know. Please.
doing well.
What God cannot do does not exist. This season is the season for Arsenal, and anybody who is still doubting it should, watch out. You can see the miracles now happening. How God is using Man U and Chelsea to destabilize our enemies.
Who in your position?
Don't worry.
I hope you guys will not make mistakes.
No. We are really, like we complained last season. We didn't know that our complaints would get to the management of Arsenal. We complained about the depth squad and kind of making sure our attack is balanced, and we are good. Yokoros made this, 2 breaks yesterday. Honestly, we're ready to beat any team now. I don't know when we're playing against Chelsea, but people should be ready because if you
November 30th, I can't forget. I'm ready. We are ready.
That's 3 points I need. It's important.
Okay. How do you feel about your top red card? The last 5 games, they've together 4 red. What do you have to say about
That's 5 red cards. If you include the coach. I think
it? So, how do you feel at the first now? What do you have to say about it?
well, I would have felt worse or bad if the red card costed us more. It cost us like in the Brighton game and the Manchester United. Imagine there was no red card by now. Those 2 games, if we are being frank, they are games that we would have won comfortably.
Yeah.
And if we won those 2 games, that means we would have been at least top of the table by now. Those games are the reason why Emma is boasting like he's boasting this evening. If not, I will not be, I will not be 3 points below him. But I feel it's a discipline issue. And just before the show, we are discussing about the red cards. I would have just comfortably said now that it is something that the coach should work on. But somehow, the coach himself got a red card. So if the coach, who is supposed to be talking to these guys to know how to work on their temperament, to know how to work on themselves, not to get most of the red cards is not just. I know it's just 1 or 2 that was a straight red.
Exactly.
Most of them was they'll give you yellow. You know you're on a yellow card. If I was so pissed. It's true that the last game when Gusto got his own red card, I was so pissed because you know you're on a yellow. We are winning comfortably. The match is like 10 minutes to go. And you're making that kind of red. There was no need for that. You have won the game. Even if you lost that ball and they scored, there was no need for that tackle.
You would have still won the game.
He would have exactly. It was quite annoying, but I feel that I watched Malaska's press conference and he said that the boys among themselves, they give themselves disciplinary actions. Like you get a red card, you pay a fine. I think it's the right step in the right direction. So it's for them to continue stuff like that. Maybe because of the fine, by the time you have paid for that fine once, twice, 3 times, maybe your head will calm down. So I think it's a discipline issue, and I feel that the players can do better.
Okay. All right. So quickly, let's look at the games that will play this weekend, and we're starting with the games of Leeds and West Ham game, and I'm starting with you, Emmanuel. What are you expecting to see?
West Ham has really been helpful. I mean, the defeat to Brentford on Monday was an embarrassing defeat. At some point, I think in the 70th minute, the fans were leaving the stadium. They were angry. I think they were protesting badly. I think the management of the club is actually not doing what it's supposed to do, kind of. I'm trying to find out if the players are actually doing this deliberately. but sometimes it could be that the players themselves want to rebel against the coach, and they will deliberately.
Is this not a new coach that just got to the club?
So okay. Thank you. So there could be a reason why the fans are actually rebelling. Look at what was happening in Nottingham Forest. The coach that was employed within 1 month was also sacked within 1 month. So I think it's high time club owners and club management to fans. Look at what's happening to Arsenal now. If the club will not pay attention to our complaints, I bet you Arsenal would have lost, including myself. But at the point I was even ashamed of coming out to speak in public. They would tell me, keep quiet, you guys are always taking second, it's embarrassing. I want to keep personal with some guys. But now I can proudly boldly walk on the street in my jersey and even point of correction. They are 5 points clear over Chelsea. I can make noise here. I don't know why you call Blaze. Anyway, so for this game, I don't see West Ham coming anywhere to show something. There's a problem going on now in West Ham. So they could actually want to use this match to register their displeasure. So for me, I'm going to give it a list. And for so far, among the teams that have been promoted, they are the only club that are actually competing to remain. So for me, I'll give it a list win.
I think that when I saw that the new coach, the new West Ham coach, that's no.
Yeah.
When I saw somewhere online that since he became a West Ham coach, he has not won any match. I was shocked because I know the guy. I know he's a good coach.
Yeah.
So I think I agree with him. And when good coaches like this go to environments that, will I use the word, are toxic, it's as if they are no longer performing. He gave a very precise, will I use the word precise, but he gave a good example of what happened in Tottenham. The last Tottenham coach that they sacked, even though we know the what is going on in Nottingham Forest, but the guy they brought in is also a good coach.
Yeah,
but somehow, because of the environment and what's going on in the environment, he did not produce what he's supposed to produce. I think it's the same thing that's happening to Nuno in West Ham. So I might agree with Emma. So I think this thing will go two ways. Either this thing will continue, or this coach will now show that I'm a good coach, and his Leeds. I know that Leeds, they've been good since they came, but they're beatable side. So and West Ham is also a strong side. So I feel that two things can happen. Is either they win embarrassingly, or they actually win. Because I feel this man wants this job. This man is a coach that wants to coach that team. So it's two things: either they win embarrassingly or they win convincingly. I know it's funny, but it might happen.
Chelsea and Sunderland. Okay, please. Seeing that Sunderland also have same point with your club, do you think it's going to be an easy win?
I don't think it's an easy win, but I think it's a win. I think it will be a match we'll win, but I don't think it's an easy win. Sunderland have been very fantastic since they came. They've not played like they are coming from relegation. In fact, this season is directly opposite what happened last season. Very, 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 very opposite. If you want what happened last season, they came and it's as if they are not serious, they went back. But most of these guys that came from relegation this season, they are competing. They are competing. Even in the market, even in the football field, they've really competed. For Sunderland in particular, I feel that they've really done well so far. I think the only match that I saw them lose, that they lost embarrassingly, was against Manchester United. I watched that match and I was wondering, is it the same Sunderland that have been playing all the matches I've been seeing them play? And I've watched them play, and I feel that they play good football. But I feel that Chelsea also play good football, and they're playing the superior football at the moment. It's true that we have had some problems when it comes to disciplinary issue, like we said earlier, when it comes to the red card and other things. But I feel that at the end of the day, when you look at the two teams, 11-11, look at the players. It's true we are losing players like Palmer and the defender, that's what's his name again? Not Badashile now. Courinho. These are two strong players in our team. It's true we are losing players like that, but I feel at the end of the day, this is a game that Chelsea can comfortably win, so that we reduce the gap between Chelsea and Arsenal.
Do you see your club, Chelsea,
I don't think this is something that's happened 5 games in a row. I think it's not a hot. It should be a hot topic in the dressing room. And even though that the coach himself collected his own red card, I feel that he will be talking about it and say, guys, it's time for this thing to stop.
We let's look at the next game, and it's going to be the game between Newcastle and Fulham. Emmanuel, what do you expect from
Newcastle has been very impressive for me, and I think they being in the Champions League this season is not just because they were in the Premier League last season. It's because they have been consistent in their win, and I was really surprised that they could defeat Benfica. Benfica that Chelsea struggled to defeat 1-0. They could defeat Benfica 3-0. You know, it shows that Newcastle, they are a team to actually look out for in the Premier League this season. Though they started poorly, kind of, but they picked form. They picked, they've actually done, some corrections.
But they're still 14th on the table with 9 points.
But then their winnings, their matches so far, you could see an improvement from their previous game. Though they lost against Brighton 2-1, but I think that game was just because Brighton was, will I say, a bit advantaged in the fact that they were playing from home, and probably because the extra time they gave was a bit too much for a game like that. I don't know why Premier League started that issue of giving extra time up to 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 11 minutes. So that game would have ended a draw. But that's by the way. So for me, Newcastle is playing at home, and Fulham, on the other hand, we expected that the signing of Chukwueze will make a change, but then their team Arsenal actually dealt with them last season, the last game. So for me, I'm going to give it a Newcastle win. It's going to be a win for Newcastle.
I'll go for a draw.
Against Fulham.
Yes,
Newcastle is home, don't forget.
I know Newcastle is home, but I feel that Fulham is also not. I feel that Fulham is not the Premier League side that you can just write off. I feel they're a very competitive side. They are like a Crystal Palace.
But Arsenal won them competitively.
It's Arsenal now. Maybe you talk now. Say you
don't forget that. Don't forget that Newcastle also have that same,
pattern of play
with Arsenal. It has been difficult for us recently beating Newcastle. So I think if an Arsenal can actually beat a Fulham,
so it's possible for Newcastle.
Yeah, they should. That's
a man's point of view. I personally will go for a draw. Okay. I'm not saying what you're saying is not right.
Okay.
But I'm saying that in my own point of vieu, it's a draw. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. The next game that we played is going to be the game with Manchester United and Brighton.
You know why I'm smiling? I feel that we have really burnt out Manchester United when it comes to this show. But I feel that when a team starts doing well, what we do in this show is to also give them their accolades, right? They've done well their last 2 matches, right? They won Liverpool and they won Sunderland first, convincingly. Then they won Liverpool again. And these two teams are not, yes, you can't say it's a fluke. It's not a fluke. They actually won them and won them very well. So I'll give them that accolades. Let's see if they are back to winning ways. But they're playing a Brighton that they've not won in the last 5 to 6 games. It's shocking, right? Yeah. That a team like Brighton have been winning Manchester United back to back. So it's another Brighton versus Manchester United, another big team that Amorim has to play. For Manchester United, whether you like it or not, Brighton is a big team to them. So I feel this kind of a game is a game that Amorim needs to prove himself that, I want to continue in this job. He has won back-to-back for the first time since he came to the Premier League. Let's see if he will extend it to 3 wins in a row. Let's see if he will extend it, but I feel that it's going to be a very, very, very difficult match. But with what is happening in Manchester United at the moment, I think there's a possibility for them to win, even though it's going to be very difficult for them.
Okay, so let's look at the next game that was played, and it's going to be the game between Brentford and Liverpool. What do you think?
Honestly, I feel for Liverpool. Somebody was saying that the spirit of Diego Jota has left Liverpool. I mean, this is the first time that Liverpool. When we drag money, how fans and all that. Now they are bringing a lot of names and all that. I think Liverpool should just sit back and look at, because they are okay for me. They don't have any challenge currently now. I don't think there's any player that is injured in Liverpool. I don't think. So I don't know where the problem is coming from.
I don't know where the problem is coming from. I feel the problem is just the new signings. right?
Okay, they are trying to tell you. Look at this guy.
Another
What
problem.
is doing?
Esa cannot produce
Almost 200 million pounds, and you cannot even get that. Come
And
on
the
now.
only fact that you have been in the league.
This is the guy that knows the league, so you don't have any. I feel that the problem is from the coaching side, right?
Okay.
These guys are good players, right?
Just for you to know
Then how to bring these guys together. For example, look at the headache he's having now. A Kaito or a Ketito, he's on form, right? He's on form. He's scoring, right?
Yeah.
But he's not having this headache. Should I bench this guy or should I play this guy? Because I have a 200 million naira striker on the bench. Should I bench the 200 and play a Kaito, or should I play a Kaito? I see the problem.
Yeah.
So this guy, the midfielder, what's his name again? That came from Bayern Leverkusen. About how many millions did they buy him? Now you're struggling. Should I play this guy on the midfield or should I play McAllister? So I feel his problem is until he knows how to blend this team. I was saying it from the beginning that those games they were winning when the league started, it was a fluke. Because if you watch their game, you know that this is a fluke.
They were winning by
just a very small margin.
9 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes goal.
So I think it was not really.
When I watched those matches, I knew that this guy has not known how to play these guys together. So until he knows how to gel that team together, they will continue to
So
struggle.
for me, it's going to be a difficult game because Brentford and
They're not small.
Brentford did very well
Very
against
yes.
West Ham on Monday, and I could tell you that Brentford, they are a team that can actually embarrass a big team. So if Liverpool is not careful, he's going to lose that game. So for me, I'll go with the both team to score. But if anybody should come for a win for that game, it should be Brentford. Yeah.
Okay, so viewers, in case you're just joining the show, this is for Fixtures. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button and don't forget to click on the notification button so you get notified of our subsequent episodes that will be coming to you through this channel. So quickly, let's look at the next game that we'll play, and it's going to be the game between Arsenal and Crystal Palace. I will also ask you, Arsenal fan, what do you think?
I have to be honest. Sometimes we analyze based on the fact that yes, we are fans of our club, but then sometimes it's good news, it's good reality.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace have not lost any game in the last 5 matches. If I'm not mistaken. I don't think they've lost any game. They've been impressive.
And their last 10, they've lost just one.
Thank you. I'm not looking at their recent matches.
Yes.
But if I have to go beyond that, it's clear that they've been very impressive.
Yeah.
The last game against Bournemouth, that match ended in a 3-3 draw. Crystal Palace, they were so impressive in that game. Bournemouth, I know, scored first. As usual, they scored first in that game, and everybody thought Bournemouth would win. I think before that match, I predicted Bournemouth would win in that game. But I was surprised Crystal Palace was able to come from 2-0 to play a 3-3 in that game. So they've been very impressive. And here, I think they are playing. They're playing at a way kind of. Yeah. But then I wouldn't just wish them away in that game. Arsenal have to be very careful. Yes. That game is going to produce goals. I'm going to see like over 2.5 goals in that game. But if Arsenal will win that game, it's going to be a slight win. And we have to be careful because the 3-point gap between Arsenal and Man City, it's very dicey. Any mistake we make now, Man City will top, and it will be difficult.
From this top 5,
yeah.
What they're using to top each other.
So I think Arsenal should just
top 10. It's very competitive.
So for me, I have to be realistic here. It's not going to be an easy game for Arsenal. Crystal Palace will get a goal in that match. Arsenal will get a goal, but it is the win we are looking at now. So for me, as a club fan, I'm going to support my team to win. So I'll give the win for Arsenal, but both teams to score for those who are playing.
I feel I agree with Emma because Crystal Palace have really done something
very impressive
this season. They won Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
They've not I think they've just lost just one match so far this season. So they're a side to beat. Let me just put it that way. They're excited to beat. So it's true that I'm not going to be biased now. Arsenal really started also very well. I feel that if you ask me, they've improved from last season. People talk about how I see people talk about Arsenal and they say things like Arsenal just know how to defend and then they cross the ball and score. But that's what we have been saying. The football is about winning, right? So at the end of the day, it's not about how beautiful we play. Shall win. That's what gives you the trophy. So if Arsenal can continue like this and continue, one of the Arsenal's problems is that at the end of the day, they just relax and one useless team will just win them. Maybe Aston Villa or you see all these things that hate Arsenal, there are some particular things that hate Arsenal, they just win them. But if they can continue to struggle at their win, because for me, we know football is about at the end of the day, win. Whether it is 1-0 or 10-0, at the end of the day, get that 3 points. So I feel that Arsenal have been looking somehow, even if they're not playing a football that's very appeasing or appealing to the eye. But I feel that they're winning. No, at the end of the day, they're winning. So for Crystal Palace, I feel that, like you said, it's going to be a game that will be very, very competitive. But I don't agree with Emma that Arsenal will win. I feel that just like last week, it will be a draw game.
Okay, so let's look at the next game.
And it's not banter, it's me being very.
Let's look at the next game that we played, and it's going to be the game between Aston Villa and Man City. At this point, Man City is seated second at the table, and you know Guardiola, he wouldn't want to take chances at this point.
Yes.
So, what do you think will play out in this game between Aston Villa?
I think it's the biggest game this weekend. Yeah. Like I always say, Aston Villa is now, when you talk about Aston Villa, you talk about they're now the big six. Yeah. Whether they're like, no matter where they are on the league table, they're the big six for me. When you talk about big teams in the Premier League, you must talk about Aston Villa, you must talk about the Bournemouth, the Newcastles, you talk about the Crystal Palace. These are mid-table teams that you cannot say they are small teams. They are. If you come to their stadium and they come to their stadium, you will feel it. You will feel it. So I think it's a big game. And just like you have pointed out, Manchester City, whenever they are on form, they just want to continue in that ride, right? So if they catch you, they will beat you. Look at what Haaland is doing, right? How many?
Never even balance. 11.
Of course, Bayern goes score on 3 goals.
Of course, he's going to get a goal again.
So
nobody's competing
with that guy. So you know what we are talking about exactly is a Liverpool. People underrate that guy a lot, and it pisses me off.
And it's not making noise.
He doesn't need to. For me, a striker doesn't need to be a Neymar, right? Give me the goals.
Honestly,
don't give me the goals. Leave all these Neymar things. Right, so if you want them as a midfield or in the wing, as far as a striker, you mustn't be a Kane that will pass the ball. Just show the score. So I feel that he's doing well in Man City. So for me, I'll go for a Man City win. I'll go for a Man City, even though that, like we always point out, it's not going to be very, very easy. It's not an easy game because Aston Villa is also a very competitive side. I always say that I respect Emery, I respect their coach. He's not a coach he's a coach that is a very tactically sound coach. So anytime you're coming to play him, you come with your best. But I feel that at the end of the day, Man City should win.
Okay, so quickly, let's start the next game that we played, and it's going to be the game between Bournemouth and Southampton. Bournemouth, like, they've been fantastic this season, and also playing a side that has been top. They are one of the 4 teams this season. So, what do you think playing out? Do you think Nottingham Forest is going to be fine, trying to know if they'll get a win back in the league, or do you think it's going to be like the normal win?
Of course, it's going to be a win for Bournemouth. Bournemouth is in form this season. For them to actually come this far, and if you check their record so far, they've scored in all their games in the beginning of the season. This is the ninth match day, and they've scored in all their games. So for me, Nottingham Forest just sacked their coach and employed a coach that was sacked by Everton, if I'm not mistaken, right? So the coach will be like, okay, let me try to prove a point. But to me, Bournemouth is at home, and definitely
don't you take new manager back? Oh why?
They want to prove a point.
Yeah.
That if they are starting at home, but this time around you're away. So definitely you cannot do more than your best.
The only thing I will just point out, maybe because of our bet fans, is that the goals will not be too much, even though the Bournemouth is a scoring side.
They will win the game. They will win the game. They might actually win with a 2-0 game, or probably.
Yeah, maybe going for a 1-0 game or 0-0. That's new Nottingham Forest coach. He's haram ball. All those guys. He's a Mourinho kind of. He doesn't need your.
That's why
the reason Everton said that they have the talent to play competitive football where you pass the ball and all that. So Everton wanted to evolve from playing I want to defend kind of game.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you that this new coach that is coming to Nottingham Forest, his philosophy is defend for me. Right. We are a small team. If we get goal, if you get the ball in your 18, you shoot it out. let the striker find the way and not.
And-
If we get corner, we cross. If the striker wants, he not the thing. But we will pack our boss. So that's his mentality. So this kind of coach, especially in his first game, yeah, these guys has not they did not know him very well. So, but the tactics, all I know is that the tactics is bringing to this game is we are coming to do what? Defend. Exactly. So that's what I'm just saying.
Okay, so let's look at that game that we played. This will be coming to the side of Wolves. The game between Wolves and
Burnley.
Wolves has been so terrible.
So yeah, it was
After
very
8
terrible.
games, they just have just 2 points to play.
Like you pointed out, I think Wolves have started really very poorly this
Very,
season.
very-
And they are going to be playing a Burnley that the relegation side, they just came into the league.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've started as solidly as Sunderland and
Yeah.
Leeds, but
Yeah.
they've shown some glimpses of brilliance. But when it comes to form, when you look at the two sides, I feel that on paper it should be a game that Burnley,
Burnley
if easily, if there's any team Burnley, you're in the Premier League now, at least win one team. So if there's any team Burnley can win or should win, it should be a 2025 Wolves. Because if it's last season, we'll not be saying the same thing.
Exactly.
And football is about form. So at the moment, Burnley should be able to win these Wolves, right? So I will go for a Burnley win.
Okay, so Emmanuel, lastly, this game that we played, and it's going to be the game against Everton.
Tottenham. Well, I'll be very precise here because Tottenham has actually been informed. They've actually been impressive in terms of doing without their key man being Son. But then it's an Everton that we all know that can be very, very stubborn. They are just like Bliss pointing rightly said, they sacked their coach because he was actually a defensive kind of coach,
Yeah.
and now they're actually coming out to play football. But then they've not actually shown that they can compete.
Yeah.
Their last game was a very poor outing against Man City. They lost 2-0. But then they might actually want to prove a point because they are playing at home. And Tottenham, from their record, they are not really good playing at away. Coupled with the fact that they will be playing in Champions League this week, and then the fatigue and all that will come in. So for me, I would say Tottenham will want to win that game, but it's not going to be easy for them. I just give it a 1-0 win, but then it's going to be a under 2.5 games for those that play it.
Okay, so viewers, we will be coming to the end of the show. And if you like to bet, remember, like I usually tell
It's
you,
important.
this is the right channel to pick your 2 shot or 5 shot or
For the weekend,
For the
and 10 cost
weekend.
later.
Yes. So if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. And don't forget to click on the notification button so you get notified of our subsequent videos that will be coming to you through this channel. See you in our next episode.